This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
And here we are, my dear friends. Welcome to the Dr. Sem Yankees Show. I record this always a day in advance, so I'm recording this on Friday. Last night, Thursday night, the Yankees lost out on the best free agent pitcher in the market. The Yankees played big. They tried to play with the big boys. That's the Los Angeles Dodgers. And they lost. But before we get into all of that, let me wish everyone out there a happy holiday season, a Merry Christmas. The Yankees didn't get their big present, but maybe there are other presents that are coming. Hopefully, we get to all of that and more during today's show. So let's make today a great day. If you're a Yankee fan, it's probably not a great day. But that doesn't mean that you can't make today a great day. We can't let the Yankees or any of these frivolous hobbies that we have get in the way of us doing what's necessary to live a good and happy and wonderful life. And I believe that one way to get there is to make each day great. And how do you do that? Well, you find ways to perpetuate greatness. You give kindness. You give love. You find the good in other people. You donate your talents and your time, maybe even your money. You support other people. You look for the good. And when you find it, you appreciate it. And you perpetuate it. And I've said this throughout my wonderful life. I said it throughout my wonderful career. When we give kindness and when we give love, those things come back to us in greater amounts than we ever gave. Try it. Try it continually, and you'll find that it's true. Unfortunately, my friends, the Yankees have not been giving a lot of love. The Yankees, like Mighty Casey, struck out. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Yankee Nine that day. The Dodgers made an offer, and the Yankees weren't willing to pay. Yamamoto signed with the Dodgers. So I think it's important that we break this down and we look at it. And we look at it in a variety of different ways. And then we find, hopefully, we'll have time in this 30 minutes for the Yankees to make a reversal, to take this loss, and it can't be described as anything except as a loss. They played big and they lost. But they lost in large part because they didn't play big enough. You can't pretend to be one of the big boys if you're not willing to be one of the big boys. You can't swim in the deep end if you're holding on in the shallow end. And that's how the Yankees have operated for many, many years now. And it's one reason, it's the big reason why the franchise is going in the wrong direction, or at least had been till this off season. I still want to give the Yankees some optimism. I want to give them some benefit of the doubt. But the Yankees haven't gone all in. They don't dive into the deep end. No, they slowly get into the shallow end, and sometimes they wade quickly into the deep part, but then they go right back to the shallow part. That's not the Dodgers. The Dodgers jump into the deep end. And hopefully we get to all this. If not, there's always next week. And of course, there's also always the Start Spreading the News show, which airs on on Mondays at 9 p.m. This week, I'll be filming it on Sunday because Monday is Christmas. All right, so let's break this down. The Yankees started the off season by making a number of very good deals. They traded some pitchers that weren't going to be a big part of the team to the Red Sox, and they got Alex Verdugo, a solid outfielder on a contract year who should do very well for the Yankees, a left-handed hitter. He should do very well. That was a good move. And then they did even better by bringing in Juan Soto and Trent Grisham. And we broke that trade down in a number of different ways. That was going big. But, of course, we said at the time, they weren't done yet, and they can't be done yet. And the Yankees recognized they're not done yet. So they said, we need to get another big-time starting pitcher. And they decided to play in the Yamamoto sweepstakes. But they didn't play well enough. And they lost. Now, I know some people right off the bat are going to say, no, Paul, you're wrong. Yamamoto was never going to sign with the Yankees. Okay, fair enough. But we don't know that because the Yankees never matched the best offer he got. The reports that I saw on Twitter and on the Major League Baseball TV network were that the Mets and the Angels matched the Dodgers' offer. Those teams can say, we gave our best and he went with a different team. Fair enough. They played for the prize and they lost. And that's going to happen sometimes. But the Yankees, no. The Yankees made a deal, according to Jack Curry, in the neighborhood of $300 million. In the ballpark of $300 million. Now, Yamamoto signed for $325 million. Now, let's just take the millions away. Let's get them out. If I offered you $325, not $325 million, just $325, and somebody else offered you $300 for the same service, are you going to take my $325 or their $300? You're going to take mine, all things being equal. I'm offering you more money, and I'm only talking about $25. In many instances, that's not even a lunch for a couple of people at McDonald's. I'm not talking about a lot of money. It's a few candy bars at this point. But if I offered you $320 or $25, and somebody else offered you $300 for the same thing, you're taking my $325. The Dodgers offered Yamamoto $325 million. And the Yankees' offer was around $300 million. That's not playing to win. That's playing to lose. And when I hear or read Jack Curry say the offer was around $300 million, That doesn't say it was 300 million. It was in the ballpark. Maybe it was 295. Maybe it was 290. Maybe it was 287. You're going to round that up. If you're rounding up to the nearest 100 million, you'll round that up to 300 million. But let's pretend, just for the sake of argument, that it was 300 million. Are you going to take $25 million less to play for the Yankees than you would get to play for the Dodgers? You wouldn't. So the Angels and the Mets can say, we made the best deal we could. We matched the best deal he got, and he didn't go with us. Okay, that happens. The Yankees can't say that. The Yankees can say we lowballed him and he turned us down, because of course he would have. Again, if I offered you 25 more single dollars, you'd take the 25 single dollars. But we're not talking about dollars. We're not talking about hundreds of dollars. We're not talking about thousands of dollars. We're talking $25 million that the Yankees didn't step up. Now, we've been through this before a million times. Last year, the most recent valuation, Forbes put the Yankees last March at $7.1 billion. The Dodgers valuation came in at 4.9 or 4.8 or something like that. Little more than 2 point something billion less than the Yankees. So not only did the Yankees not make the best offer by matching the best offer, like the Mets did and like the Angels did, but the Yankees have the financial wherewithal to beat the best offer. Again, this isn't a podcast about the Milwaukee Brewers or the Kansas City Royals or the Los Angeles or Las Vegas A's or whatever they're going to be. We're not talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're talking about the New York Yankees. We're talking about baseball's most valuable franchise. If the Yankees truly want a player, they have to go all in and get that player. There can be no other excuse. The Yankees can't say, well, we were 25 million short. It was in the ballpark. We're surprised he didn't take it. No, of course you're not surprised he didn't take it. And there's no reason why the Yankees couldn't have said to Yamamoto, what's the best offer the Dodgers have? 325? 330, come to us. 335, come to us. What will it take for you to come to the Bronx? We can afford it. But instead of playing big, the Yankees held on to a little Tubi, or they kept one foot in the shallow end, and they said, well, we're going to try to make an offer that sounds kind of reasonable, but we're not going to make the best offer. We're not even going to match the best offer. So it's no surprise that Yamamoto will be pitching for the Dodgers. Again, you might say he was going to do that anyway. Fair enough. Maybe he would have. But I would take the consolation prize of saying, well, he spurned the Yankees' equal offer, or he spurned the Yankees' better offer. But the Yankees didn't make an equal offer, and they didn't make a better offer. Those are just facts. I read that the Yankees' offer was more on a year-to-year basis. Who cares? It doesn't mean anything. That just means we came up with a way to make a better excuse for when we fail for not getting the guy. He wanted more years than we were willing to give. You're the Yankees. They can afford it. You, if you're the Yankees, can afford it. $7.1 billion last year. I bet you when we look at the Forbes issue in March, that $7.1 billion is going to go up. It'll be even a bigger number. If the Yankees truly wanted to win, if they truly want their team to win, they're going to go out and they're going to do what they need to do to get the best players. But the Yankees don't operate like that anymore. Last year they went out, look, we got Rodon, we did it. And then they stopped getting good players. Everybody said, I said it a million times, you don't have a left fielder. And they had a terrible season by Yankee standards. Yeah, they did a good job. They got Rodon, but they didn't make a complete team. So, yes, the Yankees started this offseason well. They got Verdugo. They got Juan Soto. They're starting to build a really good team. But if they don't address that starting rotation, they're in trouble. They need quality pitching. Look, they dug themselves a hole. They passed on generational free agents year after year after year. They passed on big-time trades for big-time players year after year after year for any number of reasons. And usually it's the same excuse. Well, we just didn't quite offer enough money. Again, maybe if you're the Royals, you can make that excuse. Maybe if you're a Royals fan, you can buy it. Not if you're a Yankee fan. Not if you're the Yankees. Well, they wanted too much in prospects, so we didn't want to give it to them. So we couldn't get that player. They wanted more from us than they wanted from the other teams. Now, I never bought that argument. I never will buy that argument. What GM in his right mind is going to say, oh, I don't want the Yankees to be good, so I'm going to take a lesser package from Team X to trade this guy to than the Yankees. If I'm going to deal with the Yankees, I'm only going to ask for a package that's really, really good for my team, and I'll take lesser players from a different team just to dump my player. Makes no sense. The other teams also know that when the Yankees are great, their own attendance goes up. Interest in their own team goes up. It behooves the other teams for the Yankees to be good. So this nonsense that the other teams hold out for better packages from the Yankees than they do from other teams is pure drivel. It's nonsense. It makes no sense. It's what the Yankees always say when they fail. Well, we couldn't get Justin Verlander because they wanted too much. We didn't do anything at the trade deadline because every deal we tried to make, they wanted too much. We couldn't get that player because he asked for too much money. Well, what matters to the Yankees? Winning or not? Because this approach of not going all the way hasn't produced any winners. And that, my friends, I believe, is another reason they lost out on Yamamoto. If you were he, and this was your profession, which franchise would you rather play for? You'd play for the Dodgers. Now, if you're a Yankee fan, you'd say, no, my dream my whole life is to be a Yankee. That's all I've ever wanted to be. Of course. But you're not a professional Major League Baseball player who's one of the great players on the market. I'm talking about if you're one of the great players in the game, or even a very good player, and you have your choice between the Dodgers, who go all in. Ohtani's out there. Yeah, we'll get him. Freddie Freeman's out there. Yeah, we'll get him. Mookie Betts is available. Yeah, we'll get him. The Yankees, he might be expensive. I'm not quite sure. Well, we don't want to trade, a couple of those prospects who won't pan out because just maybe one of them might be somewhat pretty good someday. We can't trade those guys for Justin Verlander, who's going to help the other team, the Astros, win the World Series. We got to keep our prospects because they might they didn't, and they never have. Really, which team would you play for? You'd go to the Dodgers. They're serious. They're focused. When they want a player, guess what happens? They most often get that player. When the Yankees want a player, what do? They go, oh, well, we'd like to maybe, but would you take $25 million less to come play for us? We'll let you be a free agent sooner. Come on. This isn't serious. They're not playing big. Then I heard an excuse, which again I find to be totally absurd, that, well, they can't pay Yamamoto more than they pay Garrett Cole. That would be unfair to Garrett Cole. Since when? Every single time there's been the biggest contract ever, the next big contract always seeks to be better and bigger than the biggest contract ever. That's what the players want. That's what they keep trying to establish. When you are the highest paid player or the highest paid right fielder or the highest paid pitcher or whatever, you know you're going to hold that title for a very short amount of time. Well, it would be disrespectful for the Yankees to give a pitcher who hasn't pitched in the major leagues more money than Garrett Cole. Why? Why is that disrespectful to Garrett Cole? When Garrett Cole was available, did he say, you know what, I'm not as great as pitcher X, so you shouldn't pay me that much money? He did not say that. Garrett Cole said, I'll take as much money as you're willing to give me, and I'm happy to be the highest paid pitcher. Am I the greatest pitcher of all time? He knows he can't be. You know, if that logic makes any sense, they should say, well, you know, Christy Mathewson, he was much better than me, so I really shouldn't get a contract bigger than him. That would be disrespectful to Christy Mathewson or Whitey Ford or Ron Guidry or whomever for me to make more money than Sandy Koufax. I'm not Sandy Koufax. He's in the Hall of Fame. It makes no sense. And if Garrett Cole, and I don't believe that anyway, I think it's an unfair characterization of Garrett Cole. I don't think that's a fair thing to even suggest to get about Garrett Cole. Oh, he would be bent out of shape if someone else made more money than him. If I were the Yankees, I'd call up Garrett Cole and I'd say, hey, Garrett, we can get Yamamoto, but his contract's going to be worth $1 million more than yours. Are you okay with that? And if he said no, I'd say, what? How selfish are you? Do you want to be on a winning team? Or do you want us to not land this pitcher who's going to help propel our team forward? If he said no, I'd say, what are you, crazy? Remember all the years, I think this is true, that Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback in the NFL, the guy who's won more Super Bowls than any quarterback in the history of the league, I think he took less money year after year so that his team, the Patriots, could get more high-quality players. That's what winners do. And I believe that's what Garrett Cole would have done or would do. I believe if the Yankees called up Garrett Cole and they said we could get Yamamoto and he's going to cost more than your contract is worth, Garrett Cole would say, yeah, I get it. I signed my contract a number of years ago. Of course it's going to be more. And if he actually said, oh, I'm going to be upset that this other pitcher makes more money than me, again, I would say, why are you so selfish? And guess what? I'm still signing Yamamoto, and I'm trading you tomorrow because I don't want you on my team. If that's your attitude, I don't want you on my team. I want guys like Tom Brady. I think Paul O'Neill did that too. He took less money to stay as a Yankee. That's the kind of guy I want. I want the kind of guy that says winning matters. Of course I want to get paid, but winning matters. I get it, but winning matters. And again, I think that's a very unfair characterization of Garrett Cole. I can't imagine him saying that. I think if Garrett Cole were given the choice, he'd say, yeah, get Yamamoto, pay him double my salary. What do I care? In the end, it'll mean I get more money when I become a free agent, if I become a free agent. And by the way, he might be opting out at the end of the year anyway, putting the Yankees in a situation where they either have to give him one more year at big money or he's gone. And now he'll be gone, if that happens, without Yamamoto on the staff either. And let me ask you a question. If the Yankees aren't willing to step up and pay that extra money to at least make an equal offer to Yamamoto so that they can build a high-quality team, why should they pay Garrett Cole one more year? When Garrett Cole opts out, as he probably will, the Yankees will probably, the smart thing, if they're not willing to go all in, would be to say, go away. Good luck. We wish you the best. Thanks for your years of service. That would be the smart thing. Why keep him? Obviously, the Yankees aren't going to be all in at that point. So why pay him that last year when he's 39 or whatever he's going to be? This is where they are. They dug themselves a deep hole by not getting the players who could have made them winners. They could have won some World Series by now, but they keep cutting corners. They keep not going into the deep end. They keep holding on to the rail saying, ooh, maybe we need a little protection. And the end result is the big-time player goes to another team. And now the Yankees are left trying to pick up the pieces. And the pieces are also going to cost money. But look, if you neglect something, look, just make it your car or your house. I'm not going to take care of the yard. Okay, so the yard becomes a mess for a whole year. Well, we saved all that money. And we're not going to take care of the roof. And the roof becomes a mess. And the roof gets holes in it. We're not going to paint it. And you get animals in your house because the siding chips and there's holes. Or well, you get the idea. In order to get that house back to where it could have been had you just maintained it, is going to cost a lot of money. You're going to need new siding or new painting. You're going to need somebody to re-landscape the lawn. You're going to need a new roof. You dug yourself a deep hole, and to get out of it, the only way out is to overspend what it would have cost in real money at the time to get to that next level. You'll spend more years down the road to fix all the mistakes you made than if you had just decided at the time to put the money into maintenance and improvement. And the Yankees didn't put the money to maintenance and improvement. And so every year, these last many years, they've fallen further behind. And the only way out for the Yankees is to spend big this off season. It's the only way. Gerrit Cole can opt out. Juan Soto is signed for one more year. That's it. Aaron Judge will be a year older. Gerrit Cole will be a year older. The window is closing. This was their year to play big. And they didn't go big enough. They didn't. They wouldn't go in the deep end with the big players. They stayed in the shallow end. It's no question. It's not even a surprise that Yamamoto didn't sign with the Yankees. And I'm scared, worried for their offseason going forward. Now what? Trade for Corbin Burns? Sign Cody Bellinger? Get Dylan Cease? Trade for Luis Robert? There's a million things they can do. But when the off season started, I thought they were going to go all in. I thought they were going to play big. And now I'm starting to think that it's the same old Yankees again. They think their history is what's going to sell players on the team. Except they don't have a history this century. Their history was last century. I've said this a million times before, but Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera are no more relevant to the players of today than Reggie or Mantle or Babe Ruth. The Yankees don't have a winning tradition this century. And that's the only thing that's real for these players. They've lost their market as baseball's greatest team. And this is the result. All right, we'll have more next Saturday. Unbelievable. I want to thank you for watching. Always, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day and week. And I'll see you again right before the new year. Have a great day.